Hello, this is Sarah and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the sourdough croissant. Please like this video below and subscribe to my channel. You could also find the full recipe written with the timestamps for the schedule I use below. First, feed your dough with 50 gram starter, 50 gram water, 50 gram bread flour, and I'm doubling the recipe to make 2 loaves of bread. I do this the night before around 9:30 p.m. and then I loosely cover my jar overnight. And by morning, it should double in size. Don't forget to add your stick of butter of 113 grams in the freezer. Again, I will be doubling the recipe, so I will add 2 sticks of butter in the freezer. This will be for the croissant version of the sourdough bread. Then I wake up at 6 a.m. to start my dough, and the starter should be active, bubbly, and doubled in size. Then I use 100 grams active starter, 350 grams room temperature water, 500 grams bread flour, 10 grams of salt, and double the recipe if you want to make 2 loaves. I mix everything and let it rest for an hour and begin the process of stretch and folds, and I'll be doing this 4 times. The first time I do my stretch and fold around 7 a.m., then I let it rest for 30 minutes. And then by 7:30 a.m., I grab my frozen butter from the freezer, and during this second stretch and fold, I grate the frozen butter about halfway through the stick. My recipe was double for the 2 loaves, so I used up most of the stick of butter. Then you just do the normal stretch and fold the same way, but including the frozen butter. You want to make sure the butter is frozen, so if you only used half, put the butter back in the freezer to keep it frozen as long as possible. I stretch and fold a few times and then let it rest for another 30 minutes. At 8 a.m., I am on my 3rd stretch and fold and added the other half of the frozen butter, and same stretch and fold and let it rest. Then at 8:30 a.m., you do your final 4th stretch and fold and let it rest for 4 hours or so until you see your dough doubled in size and see bubbles. This may vary in time depending on your home temperature, but I recommend not making it too warm like a proofer to make sure that the butter doesn't melt too much. Room temperature will be perfect. Around 12:30 p.m., I shape my dough. I like to call this my burrito fold to structure the dough, and shape it by pulling your dough back and forth. Then rest for another 30 minutes. And at 1 p.m., I do the same burrito fold one more time, and then I grab a wet towel and put that over my basket and add the dough with the smooth side on the bottom, and then cover the wet towel. Then I put this in the fridge for at least 8 hours to cold proof. Then I was thinking a 4-leaf clover shape would be perfect in time for March for St. Patrick's Day. So I had this shape cut out on my Silhouette Cameo 5 Alpha. I can't freehand draw or score that well, so making quick stencils with my cutting machine is always nice to keep things a little more even when I'm scoring. Then at 8 p.m., I preheat my Dutch oven at 450 degrees for 30 minutes without the lid. During this preheat time, I get the dough from the fridge and score it with this 4-leaf clover that I had cut out that I wanted to try for St. Patrick's Day. Then around 8:45 p.m., I add the dough into the Dutch oven that is hot with the lid on and bake for 30 minutes at 450 degrees. Then at 9:15 p.m., I take the lid off and bake again for 15 minutes without the lid. And at 9:30 p.m., take the bread out and let it cool for at least 2 hours. I let it cool overnight on my counter. It is ready for me in the morning. I cut it in half, and then within the half, I cut slices. This was definitely a sourdough and a croissant. You are reminded of both when you are eating this. I loved this recipe. It's much more flakier on the outside and buttery in flavor like a croissant, but not as light inside. It still has that sourdough texture on the inside. It's like the best of both worlds. Hope you like this recipe. Please like this video below and subscribe. Thank you for watching.